What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Revival. My name is JJ, and we're talking about trophies again. Okay, so as the advent of the new consoles are right around the corner, I think I used that word correctly, right? Maybe. PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Just make it simple. Xbox, come on, what are you doing? With those right around the corner, I kind of have had like some ideas floating around in my head. One of them being my PS4 collection, which is going to be several parts. I have so many PS4 games. They recently did an update to the way they structured their trophies on PlayStation 4, and I'm kind of curious as to what people think about it, because I have like. I have feelings on it, and at the same time I'm trying to decide whether it's like I'm a fan of it or not. So, okay, I'll give you how I feel about it, and then I will explain why I'm conflicted on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. So, in the past I made a video about trophies and how sometimes, like, I since putting that video out, I've talked to some people that say like, yeah, trophies totally ruin games, and because they take away the part of having fun and that kind of thing. But then other people say like, well, some of us like getting trophies. We like showing those achievements and accomplishments, and that is the fun for us. So there's kind of a little bit of a back and forth there, and ultimately I don't mind them, but they do tend to influence at least where I play games, because if I know I'm going to be able to get trophies on the PlayStation, but it's also out on Switch, I'm more apt to go play the PlayStation version simply because I can get something a little extra out of it. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, it's totally personal preference. That's changed for me. I don't know it's going to have as much of an influence now. I would probably lean towards Switch on a lot of games now. Mainly because I really love the Switch, and I love being able to not only have it on the go, but also I like the Switch controller. I like, having, I just like the Switch overall as a console. I like the interface better, that kind of thing. But it doesn't make me say I have to get it on PlayStation because of trophies now with the new changes they've made. Those of you that don't know, what they've done is they used to have it like very, very low. Like you get trophies, you get your platinum, gold, bronze, and silver, and they would move you up in they would give you a level. So if you've got X amount of trophies, you would be at a level 10. Then you got a few more, then you'd eventually get to level 11. Then you get a few more, then you get to level 12. And every single level was massive. It was like, dude, I'm about to get another level. It's great. It was just like a really cool accomplishment that you could see and everything like that. Now what they've done is they've kind of spread that out and made it, and I don't know if there was necessarily a scale before. I don't know if there was like a cap that you could get to, but it was very hard to go from one level to the next. And so every time you saw a new level come up, you knew that person had worked hard. And especially when you get like to the higher levels, like 15 plus, 20 plus, you knew that they put in a ton of time and a ton of work into getting these extra trophies, because each level after that is such a grind on these games. But now, like, they've spread it out on a scale of like 1 to level 1000 plus. So everything is more spread out. So, for instance, I was I think I was a 17 prior to this, and now I'm like a 322, something like that. And it's like, I played games, and I've actually gotten a few platinums prior to that, since the expansion as well, and they just don't mean as much. I just haven't really found myself caring as much about it. I think, like I said, I'm conflicted on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because now it's going to influence less where I play. Because I won't be focused as much on getting to my next level because of the trophies that I have and the achievements that I'm doing and that kind of thing. If one pops up, cool, but it's not like I'm going to have to... I'm not as driven to get to that next one because I'm so close to the next level. I can play a couple of games casually and still get, like, a level or two, even not, going for all of them. So because it's so much easier to level up because it goes so much quicker now. I mean, there's still tons of trophies you have to get to level, 1,000. Like I said, I was like 17-ish, and that's like, from what I've seen on my friends list, that was still like respectable. Like I have somebody on my friend list who's like a level like 50 plus. It was insane. I can't even imagine what he's at now. I haven't looked, and I'm curious. But it's like, to know what it's going to take to get to that, higher tier of what it is now, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. But you don't see those. You don't see those like small increments that mean a lot more because it happens. It's like. Let me say it like this: if you've ever played World of Warcraft, and you played it in the beginning as opposed to now, so in the beginning you had levels 1 through 60. Every single level you got to, you knew it was going to be a big increase. You knew you had fought for it, and you knew you would put time in to get to that next level. And like you could spend, 5 hours playing and maybe get one level. At the higher levels. At lower levels, you get a few, because it goes slower the higher you get. But every level when you get up to that, closer to that 60 mark, you fought for it. You were so close. You were there. Now, with the level cap being, I don't even know, I haven't played it in a while, but like 120 or whatever it is, you can do like 1 through 30 in a couple hours. And then, 30 through 50 in another couple hours. And it's like, leveling is like that. And it just doesn't mean anything. Like, you go from level 34 to 35, nobody's going to bat an eye at you. They're just going to be like, you got a long way to go, man. Like, it just doesn't matter. But back then, you see somebody go from 34 to 35, you knew that they had, like, put in the time. You knew that they actually, like, got stronger and they felt it in their character. And so I've always had that mindset with leveling up as far as the PlayStation trophies go. And now, with how many more levels they've added, for me personally, it just makes me care less about it. And I see it as a, quote, bad thing because I care less about it, obviously. And so I'm going to assume, just because I'm a human being, that other people probably feel the same way. But at the same time, I don't think it like makes it to where nobody's going to care about it. I think ultimately where I land is that it's probably a good thing that they did it this way, because the real trophy hunters, the people who really care about that kind of stuff and want to show off their achievements and accomplishments and that kind of thing, they can still do that, and they can still show, like, you see somebody who's like level 500 or something, that's like just a ton of work that they put in and everything like that, and it took forever to get them to that level, and it's insane. Whereas somebody like me who plays casually and before was like every single one level because I played casually was like, holy crap, this is like, it means something to me. It's not as bad. Like, it's a lot easier to just get to that next level, and you're like, oh, I went from 322 to 323. All right. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I kind of feel like I'm probably not doing the greatest job articulating it, but I think in my rambling you could probably suss out. Watch this video like 3 times. I don't know, maybe then you'll figure it out. I don't know, but so I apologize if I'm coming off a little rambly, but it's kind of like swirling around in here. And I'm just like, I am leaning towards that it is a good thing, because like I said, I feel that you still have trophy hunters who will still absolutely go for that stuff and be all over it. while at the same time, the people who felt they were missing out because they weren't getting trophies, like myself, are less inclined to feel that way, which is exactly how it's working on me. But, and again, on the other hand, that's going to make choosing where I play a lot easier too, because now I'm more than likely going to be inclined to pick it up on the Switch if it's there. Then again, PS5's coming out. So, if I have a choice between a PS5 game and a Switch game right now, I kind of want to see what the PS5 does, so I'm still going to be picking it out there. So maybe this was all Sony's plan in the beginning. I don't know, but it's just a fun thing to think about. I'm curious as to what everybody else thinks. I'm still going to play games on PS4, PS5, well, PS5 when I get one eventually, Nintendo Switch, all that stuff. But I do feel a little less pressure about trophies now, and I'm okay with it. I just kind of like, I realized like after I mentioned in my last video, Platinum Bro, who had, if you go to his channel, and he has like a bunch of videos where he's like, here's some easy platinums and like, that you can get in like 30 minutes or less. He's got a whole bunch of videos like that. So if you're a trophy hunter, go check out the dude's channel, because just fantastic resource. The games are cheap that he recommends, and like they're really easy to get these platinums on, and it's just, if you're a trophy hunter, it's a great resource. I can't recommend him enough. And so that's what I did. And I watched one of his videos, and I went to the PlayStation Store. I spent like $20, and I got like 4 or 5 games, and I platinumed all of them. And it took me like, 3 hours tops to get platinums on all those. And the leveling change didn't hit yet. It kicked in when you got the next trophy after that leveling thing was implemented. So I got the first trophy. It kicked in. It put me at like level 317 or something like that. Then I got, several platinums, and it put me at 322 or whatever I'm at right now. And I kind of just like looked at it, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm really making that much progress, and I don't even know what the next like landmark would be. It would be, I guess, the next like color level. So I think I'm beginning silver right now, and that would bump me up to gold at like level 500 plus or whatever, 599, 600, whatever it is. I don't know off the top of my head. But I was just kind of like, platinums gave a lot prior, and now it just doesn't really seem to move the needle that much. I'm getting levels, but it feels a little more insignificant to me. So I just don't want to devote that much time to games that are like those 5 games that I bought, or 4 games, whatever it was that I bought. I'm not going to play them past getting those platinums. I did it because it was short and easy. I'm not necessarily a trophy hunter, and this really helped me realize that. It was fun, and I you know what, I will still totally watch his videos, especially if I'm like feeling like I'm falling behind everybody else. I guarantee you he'll be the first resource I go to, and I'm like, I gotta catch up, that way I can like get some of my gamer cred back and people can see that I'm actually playing and getting some of these achievements. But as far as the games that I do like to play, it's brought back that feeling of, I want to play this game because it's fun, I want to play this game because I want to play this game, and not I want to play this game and do this side stuff that doesn't really sound great to me, but it's a trophy, I guess, so I'll go for it. It kind of knocks out that whole aspect to where, again, comes back around to, I may pick this up on the Switch instead, because I think this would be fun on the go. So, that when I get to Dragon Quest XI, for example, I might pick up the Switch version and end up playing it on there. So we'll see, just because of that. I had wholeheartedly planned on playing it on the PlayStation before, but now, I don't know, plus it's an enhanced version on the Switch too, so, but either way. Yeah, I'm curious as to what everybody else thinks, because I think this is a fascinating thing that just kind of like happened, and like how much thought it put into my head about like, oh, that's interesting, I don't feel the same way about this, and now I feel about this, and blah, blah, blah. So, let me know what you think down in the comments down below. I'm super excited to hear what everybody else thinks. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the drill. And as always, keep on gaming.